Hey guys, welcome back to the Fine Cut. My guest today is Ryan once again.
Hello.
The reason why I've brought Ryan back is for the sole reason that he was on our Oscars prediction episode, reaction to the nominations, and this Sunday they actually happened.
They happen.
And
It's real.
there was a lot of there was a lot. There's a lot to unpack, I feel.
Okay.
Or like not a lot to unpack, but there's certain sections that I feel like
Okay,
need
sure,
to be
sure.
kind of unpacked. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of go straight into it. So the first thing I wanted to ask you is what'd you think about the show? Because this, is very. This has been almost to me the most back to basic show that has kind of happened in the past few years. Because you had the 2021 Oscars that Soderbergh produced that was really weird and out there. The kind of the best actor being the very last one and kind of blowing up in the
That
face.
one was a tricky year, regardless.
Yeah, and then last year kind of was still kind of coming back, and now it feels like we're kind of back to basics almost.
But
So,
I think back to basics in a good way. Because
Mhm.
generally, as I was watching it, there was never a moment where I felt like, oh, this is going on too long. Oh, like they need to hurry it up. I feel like they actually found a good balance of
Yeah.
like host, presenters, and then the speeches themselves.
Yeah, these were. I think they got really good presenters as well, which it didn't. And I like the point that you put out of like it didn't really feel like there was. It was slow, but also wasn't too
They,
fast.
they kept everything moving, which is weird because I feel like it went on for like a really long time, but it
Yeah.
didn't feel like
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it was. I think the broadcast was like a little under 4 hours.
Okay.
I want to say because it started at 8.
hmm
And I remember it ending about 11:15, 11:30. So about, decent amount of time. But yeah, the presenters were good. I wasn't a huge fan of Jimmy Kimmel back as host, though.
I mean, I thought he was better this year than the two
Mhm.
other times. I feel like he generally just kind of kept it more clean and straightforward. I know he
Yeah.
took jabs at a couple movies.
There was a lot of jabs, which it
Um,
almost felt he was trying to do like a Ricky Gervais kind of
That's
thing.
kind of the impression I was getting.
But
Um, I don't know if it landed as
yeah, you could definitely tell in the audience there was a lot of like, ooh, kind of thing.
especially at the Babylon one.
Yeah,
Um,
that was
but
our poor Babylon.
it's okay. We like it, but
Yeah.
yeah, no. Overall, the show this year, I was pleasantly surprised on the format itself.
Yeah, I also like for the show itself. I was really. I know not a lot of people liked it, but I also liked. I personally liked the 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 backgrounds that they had.
When you're talking about like
When they were, like,
whenever
presenting-
a movie won, it would have the marquee change.
I liked
to
that.
the movie.
Yeah,
I like
liked
that too.
I liked the marquee changes, but I also liked when they were presenting the awards and they were like one stands out that a lot of people are pointing out is the editing is the best edit.
Which
uh,
one?
The
I haven't
best-
been on social media, so
It's
I
the
don't know what
best.
people are
It's
talking
the
about.
award for best editing, and when they were presenting it, they had a like old time like they were
Oh,
like
okay,
some
yeah, I
woman with
remember now.
film, and
Yeah.
then there was like there
Yeah,
was just
someone
a girl on
someone
Premiere.
someone on their laptop.
So I know a lot of people are kind of like iffy about that. I kind of liked that a little bit because it added a little bit more to the background because you get, especially with the Oscars, it's just it's a basic award show, so you get that kind of like you don't get a lot of theatrics when you're announcing the award. That kind of almost added something in the background that I was like, oh, I like that. They brought out they had costumes when the costume design was. I could see Margot Robbie's costume from Babylon
Yeah,
sitting
that's true.
there.
Yeah.
So it was really I kind of like that. I know not a lot of people liked that, but
I didn't really think that people were that vocal.
I don't
about
think it was like that vocal. It was just like people were like,
I liked it. It
okay,
was cool.
yeah, I thought it was interesting. So, yeah, I mean, any other things you want to talk about before we kind of go into the
Um,
awards?
I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about the musical performances, but I liked all of them.
I actually, yeah, the musical performances. The
Usually, I
past.
feel like a lot of the times since we've heard the songs before, that it's kind of just like repetitive. It's like, okay, this
Mhm.
song's nominated, but generally, I felt all the performances this year were
Yeah,
very good and entertaining too.
yeah, actually, even the In Memoriam one is kind of the standout because like it's just Lenny Kravitz playing the piano,
Yeah.
but even then I wasn't like, cause like a lot of the kind of musical performances in the past few years I've been like, okay, come on,
Mhm.
we could scrap them, but this year changed my mind a little bit. I
Yeah.
was really excited when David Byrne came out and had hot dog
I
fingers.
I'm surprised he did do that.
Yeah.
I thought he would have, just kept it, just like, the suit. But, he was digging it. He was
I
digging
feel
it.
like do you think he asked them, he was like, could I get a hot dog fingers, please?
They probably told him to do it. I don't think he would advocate for the fingers, but
I feel like David Byrne's weird enough that he would be like, I want to have the
I
hot
mean, he
dog
wrote a
fingers.
song about a lamp, so I mean,
That is true.
anything's possible.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything.
But yeah, it was the musical performances were pretty good.
I also like the style of the musical performances, and I'm
Mhm.
specifically talking about Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
because
That was a
for-
late edition. If I recall, like literally day of, they were like, "Oh, by the way, Lady Gaga's performing."
Yeah, I guess that was news that she wasn't, but then like it turns out that she did. But
It was a good
the
performance.
style of it just mostly being just close-ups of her and
Yeah.
like close-ups of the band, I just felt the intimacy and power of the song.
Yeah.
And I know they kind of did that a little bit before when her and Bradley Cooper did "Shallow."
Oh yeah.
But
that was a good.
it was
performance.
definitely a nice touch in terms of the contrast between the grand scope of the Oscars versus just like, hey, this like
Mhm.
in your face performance.
Yeah. That honestly, that performance was really, out of all of them, that's the most intriguing to me. I think because the reason why is because it wasn't an Oscar performance, like you said. It wasn't a grand scale
Yeah.
performance. It was very kind of conservative. It was very conserved when it comes to the performance. Because I mean, Lady Gaga was wearing ripped jeans and a black T-shirt, and my friend pointed out when I was watching the Oscars they were like, he's wearing a Philadelphia Eagles hat, like the guitarist. So it was very laid back, almost kind of like a jam band session. So,
Yeah, I pictured them like in a basement, kind of just like doing
Yeah.
the song. It just turns out that song is a Oscar-nominated song.
Yeah.
But yeah, but something compared along those lines to Rihanna's performance, where that felt very grand. And I know she's coming off the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
so she probably wanted
She likes
to do
being up on things, I feel
a
now.
double hitter. I didn't see the Super Bowl
I-
or her halftime performance.
She was like
so I
high
don't-
up on the Super Bowl, and then she started raising up, and I was like,
Okay.
so. But yeah, I liked all the performances, even Not To, which I was like, I've not seen RRR yet.
I got very excited.
I
I
was-
was advocating to my family.
Yeah.
About the not to.
Yeah. I'm glad it won. And speaking
too.
of winners, let's go into the awards. I've marked a few. We have all the winners right here.
Okay.
I've marked a few that I kind of want to talk about, and of course I've marked the big ones. Best picture, best director, best actor, best actress, and then I marked a few that kind of were kind of interesting. I wasn't entirely. I was very taken back by some of the wins. I think the main one is All Quiet on the Western Front, kind of coming in and just like taking everything.
Coming in doing a little sweep on the
Yeah.
technical side
Yeah.
of things.
It was really, I mean, some of these were like production design. A lot of people kind of pegged Babylon, actually. I know a lot of people were pegging Babylon for production design. And All Quiet kind of coming in. There was a good stretch there where it was like all quiet, all quiet, all quiet, all quiet.
Yeah, I got nervous with
Yeah.
that. Genuinely, for me, All Quiet, it's a fine movie.
Mhm.
But just in terms of that production design, and like score, I just don't feel like it did anything with me personally versus something like Babylon or
Yeah.
like Fablemans. But
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not upset that it won. I
Yeah.
just would have liked to have seen it gone to other movies.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I kind of want to go through the ones that I marked off.
Okay.
First one I marked off was best costume design, solely because that it was interesting to see Black Panther win for a second time, and I was kind of surprised a bit. You know,
Why were you surprised? I'm curious.
I was surprised mainly because it, when it comes to like those CGI movies, it almost, the costumes are, because you can obviously tell like Cherie's Black Panther suit is CGI,
Yeah.
and so I was like kind of surprised, especially with like Elvis being nominated in Babylon. You know, these kind of historical pieces that they had to recreate, like the pink suit of Elvis. I thought that was like that was like one of my favorite, one of my better parts of Elvis that I liked. So, and like Babylon had a lot of costumes with like, you know, the one on stage was Margot Robbie's. Like she wears a lot of outfits that are really unique in that movie, and you have to kind of also get the 1920s, 1930s feel of the costumes. So I was kind of pleasantly surprised, honestly, with Black Panther, because I'm like, okay, I don't mind this.
I'm not surprised. I genuinely thought that one was gonna win. Because I know you were saying earlier that a lot of the designs, you know, are CG, but even though it is CG, someone did have to like hand draw it and design it, even if it's not a real outfit for
Yeah.
like
Okay.
at first something to actually physically wear. But
Yeah.
no, I just think those designs
I
are
I'm
really cool.
I kind of have my own like personal thing, because I'm gonna, when we get to best actress, I have a little spiel about what I think about it.
Okay.
But yeah, the next one is best original song, Not To Not To. Like I said, I've not seen RRR, but I really wanted This Is a Life to win.
It's very good.
I that was kind of like I listened to it like once or twice. Because like Netflix put it up on their website. I'm like, oh, what's this? You know.
Yeah.
And so the performance was really good. I liked that.
I will say it does help. The song is better in the context of the movie.
Okay.
But because if you just listen to the song by itself, like it's still good, but it's just like it doesn't like essentially
Yeah.
that drive.
I'm also really happy that it was a song within the movie. You know.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not
it wasn't
like
just a song at the end credits.
at the end credits, exactly. Because I think that's a lot of.
I think everything in the category this year was a song at the end credits. I could be wrong.
So there was This Is Life, which is end credits. There was the Rihanna song, I can't,
End
Lift
credits.
Me Up, end credits.
Hold My Hand, end
Okay.
credits.
And then
I don't remember the other one. Sorry, other movie that was nominated.
Whoopsies. Oh, it was Tell It Like a Woman. That's why. Like nobody remembered Tell It Like a Woman.
Is that the song or the
No,
movie?
that's the movie.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Tell It Like a
Yeah.
Woman. I didn't know.
Applause, I think it was called.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the first performance, and so I don't remember it at all.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I wanted This Is Life, but I'm very happy with Not To winning. So second one, the next one that I wanted to talk about is Best Original Score. This was a surprise to me.
I don't want to say it's a surprise, but again, generally in the same category as like production design or something. It's other movies that I would rather see win. It's not like I have a hatred towards All Quiet.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. But yeah, like obviously Babylon, Fablemans. Like I'm gonna go back and listen to those.
I have the Babylon soundtrack on like every day because it's such a good score, and a lot of people want it. Were like,
if it was gonna win something, it would have won.
Yeah,
score.
I think I said that in my Babylon video last week. I was like, if Babylon was to win an Oscar, it'd be for score. So seeing that, it kind of like, it just like, hit me right in the heart.
If anything, that Babylon jab at the beginning was a foreshadow. For what was to come.
Yeah, that was justice for Babylon. I feel like, man, That movie needed more.
I think Damien Chazelle still has a deal with Paramount. Or
Hopefully he'll not start a movie with an elephant shitting on someone. So maybe he'll.
I don't think that was the reason. He just wanted to open the movie that way.
He's like, screw it, you know. Yeah. Before we go into the big surprise of the night.
Sure.
Is there any one that you wanted to point out from the other ones?
I'm just glad Avatar and Top Gun got best sound and best visual effects, because there was a moment where I thought All Quiet was going to get best visual effects because it was getting the sweep. But once they showed Avatar, I just went like, come on, the whole movie is effects. Like, if you don't give it to that, and then they said Avatar, that made me feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just happy Top Gun.
Yeah.
Like, if you saw that in the theater, you know the sound was good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, all these, not like huge surprises, but the big surprise of the night was Jamie Lee Curtis winning Best Supporting Actress.
Mm-hmm.
I nobody saw that coming, I feel. I think like when she won the SAG award for it, maybe people were like, being like, oh, she might win the Oscar, but like everyone was still Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
And
I feel like for Angela Bassett, though, it might have been after the Golden Globes or some other major award. I don't know, like the trail for her kind of just went off. I don't know what happens. Maybe people just voted the other way. I thought she would have gotten...
This category felt like if there was a legacy award, a legacy award for this Oscars, it was definitely Best Supporting Actress.
Mm-hmm.
And so to see Jamie Lee Curtis get it, it was interesting because I think a lot of people still had Angela Bassett winning, and like just seeing Jamie Lee Curtis, it was like, wow, Yeah. So, but she gave a good performance. Probably not the Best Supporting Actress from Everything Everywhere, Stephanie Sue.
Yeah, I do prefer.
I prefer her
movie.
performance a little bit more, but also justice for Hong Chow. Come on, Hong Chow. I just really loved in the Whale. I thought she was great, but I knew she wasn't going to win.
No, she brought a lot of heavy emotion.
Oh yeah,
to the movie, as if it wasn't already heavy enough. But definitely a driving force.
Yeah, the supporting actress one was like one of those categories that you don't expect to kind of be up in the air, but it really was.
It's never like the Best Supporting Actress. It's every year. There's usually like one out of the four. There's because the others you can usually just kind of assume that like, oh yeah, they're gonna win.
Even this year, I felt like there was only like one real lock, which was Best Supporting Actor for Ke Huy Quan.
I feel like there were two. I felt there was doubts in my mind about Brendan.
Yeah.
For Best Actor, because again, I know Austin Butler was kind of having a resurgence, in a few wins. So I was kind of, doubting myself for a second, but I would say again, at least in terms of going back and forth, at least for this year, I would say Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress.
We're kind of up in the air, or we're locks.
Up in the air.
Okay. Yeah. I would agree. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I didn't mark this down because I think everyone knew it was coming. Ke Huy Quan winning Best Supporting Actor, well deserved. Great speech.
Definitely got the waterworks going for
Warms
me.
the heart.
So, yeah.
Love him. So yeah, we don't. There's a million other videos about Ke Huy Quan.
But the goal for him is that at least he should be able to get more work.
I'm very excited to see him in more. I'm very excited to see him in more. So, but next one is Best Actress. Michelle Yeoh winning for Everything Everywhere.
And I'm happy about this.
I'm happy too. I personally prefer Cate Blanchett to win for Tar. And a lot of people, I tell this to a lot of people, and they always are like, why? And this is my reasoning. So Michelle Yeoh, great performance. She won the Oscar. I'm very happy for her.
Yeah.
But her performance was definitely like lifted up by Ke Huy Quan and Stephanie Sue's performance. Where Cate Blanchett, that Tar,
it's genuinely just her.
It's genuinely just her. And if she did not give like the perfect performance that she did, in my opinion, that movie would not have worked. So, it's almost like here's Michelle Yeoh who built like a stage with Ke Huy Quan and Stephanie Sue, and she's now standing on it. Where Kate Blanchett's over here built her own stage and is now standing on it and being like, "Look, guys, I did this." And so that's why I would prefer Kate Blanchett to win.
I will say I think Stephanie and Ke Huy Quan, they bring Michelle up.
Yes.
But I feel like since the two of them are from the other dimensions, or multiverses, sorry.
Yeah.
That Michelle Yeoh is essentially like the grounded one.
Okay.
So I feel like there's that extra layer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, she was one of the like driving forces that like made me like I was along the ride with her because the movie does go into the extreme realm for me. Maybe just like a little bit too much with the humor.
Okay.
But her performance kept it grounded for me at least. But I can see where you're coming from with Tar because Kate Blanchett, that's just a movie.
Both are great performances. I think honestly, either one of them could have won, and I would have been happy. I just like I said, I'd prefer Kate Blanchett.
That's why I say it was Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress this year because it's generally like there were like the two nominations where it's like and again even I can say this for Best Actor because I had Austin Butler in my mind, but generally just like the two people, it's like I can see this going to like either or.
Yeah. So next one, we only have three more that I wanted to talk about. Best Actor, Brendan Fraser, coming in hot.
Yeah, talk about the waterworks again. So,
yeah, I was very happy that he got this because I think The Whale it's almost like the Kate Blanchett kind of thing where if he did not give the perfect performance, the film would have just kind of fell flat. And it's almost like a mix of the Michelle Yeoh argument and the Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I was gonna bring up Sadie Sink and then Hong Chow.
Yeah, but Brendan Fraser winning was just amazing.
No, now that we can say Academy Award winner with his name,
that is true.
Makes me very happy.
That is true. I also like the fact that two actors in the movie Encino Man are Academy Award winners.
They've been hyping up this Encino Man.
I know
a lot. I have no idea what it's about.
I don't know. I've never seen Encino Man. I looked it up and
they should re-release the poster just so they can say Academy
Honestly,
Award
yeah,
winners.
just do that. I would go see it and do a re-release. If an anniversary of it is coming up soon, just do a re-release of it and just put Academy Award winner Brendan
they
Fraser
can do it.
and Academy
No
Award
one's stopping them.
Exactly. What would they do for Pauly Shore because he's the main guy?
Just Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore on the top and then
Pauly Shore.
I'll have to make that poster now. But this one kind of, for me, it hurts a little bit. Best Director going to the Daniels. A lot of these, I say I hurt, but I respect the win. I really do respect the win of the Daniels.
Yeah.
I had that sliver of hope that Steven would come through and win it. So.
I figured after it wasn't winning any of the technical stuff, and if he only won for Best Director, I knew that the chance was like slim to none.
Yeah, I tried to call it back in December on our Spielberg episode, but
no. But I mean, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we will. We will.
Because there's a lot we can talk about there.
Yep.
But I'm happy for the Daniels.
Yeah, second movie ever or second theatrical film. Two young guys.
Mm-hmm.
It gives us hope.
As
young
it gives me hope.
filmmakers. But the Daniels, they did a great job, like I said. But
in the back of my mind, I kind of, again, I was like maybe Spielberg if there's gonna be like another upset. But yeah, the Daniels I kind of just assumed.
That one hurts. That one hurts the most for me. I don't know why. I think because I rewatched Fabelmans just recently, and I had a very big emotional. I think that is my favorite film of the year of 2022 because I connect to it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, just seeing. I also read a good article that was like why Steven Spielberg should get the Oscar, and I was like, yeah, and putting him up there with like all of his idols pretty much because I think this would have been his third, and John Ford. No, wait, No, is it John Ford?
John Ford. Yeah.
John Ford. John Ford has 4,
Mhm.
so it almost like put him like just second.
Yeah.
So, but what are you gonna do? I'm very happy for the Daniels though. So, yeah.
Spielberg was there. Spielberg was there.
Spielberg was there. He got a hug from Ke Huy Quan, and I even there was like a shot of him when I think
With Harrison Ford.
not Ke Huy Quan. I'm talking about Steven Spielberg.
Oh, okay.
There was like a shot of him when I think the Daniels won, and he was almost like, yes, and I was like,
all right.
okay,
right.
Steven, I'm happy.
No,
for
he
yeah.
respects the other.
Yeah, he respects
filmmakers.
it exactly, and that's what So,
Mhm.
but yeah, Best Picture going to Everything Everywhere.
It's the little movie that could.
It really is a little movie that could. It is kind of crazy to be like it's now Best Picture winner. Because I mean, I'll be the first to admit I did not think it would win Best Picture, but I am very happy that I was wrong. Because re-examining the movie, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie. It's really interesting to see it be the best picture, named best picture, especially with a lot of these kind of Academy best picture baits, almost with The Fabelmans and Tar, and so I'm just
No, I for the longest time I expected a nomination that it was gonna be in. It probably took me, I don't know, maybe end of the year, maybe like even like after Toronto. Still, like I was kind of like, it's kind of up in the air. It could kind of be anything. But once it actually like started, Golden Globes happened. All that. I was just like,
and I think
it's
a big point to the A24's marketing team. In all honesty, they have marketed the hell out of this movie, and they did so good. They kept it in people's minds because this came out in March, which is really, I mean, back in like 2017, I think is when Get Out came out.
Yeah, February.
And that was nominated for Best Picture. I was talking with someone, and they were like, "Oh, Get Out's gonna win," and I was like, I don't think so, because that came back out. That came out in February, and so a lot of the earlier year movies don't even get nominated, let alone win. And this coming in and just taking it all and sweeping is kind of crazy.
A24 knew that they had something special, and so they rolled with it. I also think, at the same time, is probably what hurt a lot of these other movies' chances. That since they weren't big box office successes, but yet, like critically, like they were adored. I think that's why the studios just didn't. Like they knew probably they were going to get the nomination regardless, so that's why they didn't push hard enough. Whereas A24 like just constantly kept pushing. Yeah. And I think that's why Everything Everywhere came out on top.
Yeah, and I'm glad it did. I like the movie. I think it's good. I definitely am happy it won Best Picture because it almost allows like people to look at the Academy not as like this, people that give Green Book Best Picture, but almost like now we're giving kind of the underdogs. Coda winning last year, even Nomadland winning 2 years ago. It's very underdog-ish almost now.
I think it also allows movies like Everything Everywhere. I mean, I know it was a box office success, gross over like more than 100 million, but still, it's just not like everyone's go-to movie. It's not like a safe movie for mainstream audiences. Yeah, maybe I don't know.
I mean, it has a butt plug fight in it, so
yeah. So it's like scenes where the general audience is going to be turned off. Because my parents, they were asking, what is Everything Everywhere? Will I like it? And generally, I'm like, no. It's not your type of movie. My dad is very disappointed Banshees didn't win. He's seen it 9 times now.
9 times?
Seen it 9 times.
Jeez.
Um,
I need to talk to your dad.
Yeah.
Like, just ask him why.
I don't know. He connects with the movie.
Was he a big fan of Jenny coming out on stage, even though it wasn't actually Jenny the donkey?
No, he didn't watch. He didn't watch it.
I can tell you this: my parents loved that donkey coming out on stage.
I'd like seeing the donkey.
Yeah, get a best animal performance.
No joke. Weren't they considering that?
I
like
don't
a
know.
few years ago.
I don't know.
I
We'll have to
can't
look it
remember.
up. I'll have
I
to
know
look it
they
up.
were doing that whole other hey, we're gonna throw in these other categories, but I don't think that ever happened.
Yeah, yeah. I personally still think there should be a best cast award.
It's similar to the SAG.
And kind of give it even, not even like giving it to the cast itself. Maybe give it to like the casting director or something like that.
Sure.
I don't know. Just so you don't have that
Yeah,
whole
I don't know
stage.
I don't know how
you
they'd
know,
work around
'cause,
that,
like,
but
say women talking one, there would just be like 10 people, all on stage. They'll be like, yeah, and it's like, so.
Speaking of women talking, I know this isn't one of the categories, but women talking won best adapted screenplay.
Yeah.
Good. I'm happy
Yes,
about that.
yeah.
I was just happy. I know my parents didn't know what woman talking was, but I just I clapped.
Yeah.
I clapped.
Got a standing ovation at TIFF.
I'm happy for Sarah.
We did this. We gave it a standing ovation.
Yeah.
We helped with it, but
Yeah.
a little disappointed that Glass Onion didn't win. But
I know it was there. It was there.
I was just give Ryan Johnson.
Well, again,
please.
we all got nervous because we thought it was going to be another Western front.
Oh, that is true.
Sweet.
That is true.
That was at the moment when woman talking won. I'm like, okay.
Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. We're done. We're done with that. So, so yeah, and because we're gonna end it here in a bit because we've talked about the awards. Any changes that you'd want to make? Any like big ones that are like, I would want this person to win. Like, full-heartedly.
I mean, not to anything specific in terms of the big categories. I guess I would just generally say, for an original score, again, swap out Western Front with Babylon.
Yeah.
Cinematography. I don't even think it was nominated, but throw in Fabelmans or something. I don't think it was nominated, but kind of generally just spreading the wealth. But I know again, it's the Academy. They have years where they'll award the movie. Like all the Oscars is nominated for, and then there'll be other years where it's like every movie gets one.
Yeah, this was only 3 films got multiple awards, and that was Everything Everywhere, All Quiet,
And The Whale.
And The Whale, which
The Whale.
is really odd to be like The Whale got 2 Oscars over everything, but
Listen, it was good makeup.
it was good. It was good makeup.
It was
I also
good makeup.
we pointed out because me and my friends we were watching. They have the scene of him like shirtless with the walker, and it was just like right behind the presenter the entire time, and it was like that's maybe not the most flattering picture to use, but it's a good picture to use for the makeup. So,
Yeah.
I know you said any changes, but Snubs. I mean, that would probably go with changes as well, but
Snubs. I mean, I told my family like in my heart, Paul Mescal.
yeah,
for
I was
Best
waiting
Actor.
for you to bring up Paul.
But again, like the nomination is the win.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
very happy that After Sun.
I'm
got
just
at least
happy that
one.
he was there.
Yeah.
And nominated.
Dude looked like he was having fun.
he was
so-
having a blast.
so.
He was having a good time.
Yeah. So I think we need, to wrap this up. Let's go into the 5 movies I have here that got nothing. That was very surprising. The big films at least that didn't take home any prizes were The Fabelmans, Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. Yeah, those definitely like I said, definitely a hit to the heart for The Fabelmans because as I said, it's probably my favorite movie of last year, and just seeing it not win anything, I was like, ah.
It pulls on my heartstrings every time I do watch it. And again, I'm sad it didn't get at least like one thing. But I hope that in Spielberg's eye, that since his film about his life didn't win any Oscars, I hope he doesn't think that ruins the reputation of the movie.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Spielberg is the guy to where he needs awards.
Oh yeah.
To be like,
already has-
I made this great movie.
Yeah.
Like if he just watched The Fabelmans.
If I honestly think he'd be very proud of The Fablemans if it wasn't even nominated for anything. Like
Yeah.
he would have been still proud, and I would still love it if it wasn't nominated. So
No, I
Um,
love it regardless.
yeah, big surprise was Banshees.
Banshees,
I thought Banshees was at least gonna get one.
I told my dad if there was one, it was gonna be best original script.
That's what. Yeah.
But then once Everything Everywhere won best original script, that's kind of when I was like, okay, now like we're getting into the bigger ones. It's probably gonna
Yeah.
get director, picture.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. Once Banshees lost in that one, I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Because as much as Colin was great in the movie, I'm just like,
Yeah.
it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah. Elvis, I'm kind of happy didn't get anything, but I still think like some of the better stuff would have been like costume design.
Yeah,
Stuff like that. But Tar, it's weird. I just noticed that like the two movies that were like music centric didn't have anything in
I
like not even an original song. I think they had original like score, but
yeah. Well, I
Um,
don't think
I don't actually.
I don't think Tar has any original song, but I know Elvis. There's remixes.
Yeah,
of
but
his
I think
older
those are
stuff. But yeah, but those
uneligibles.
don't count.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe this is a new trend of the Academy shying away from
Music biopics and
music-based
Yeah.
movies.
do you think because Tar, I know a lot of people came out of the movie of Tar thinking it was a biopic. Do you think that might have hurt its chances?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's convincing enough to where people thought that it was real.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it's like, not to say that the world of orchestral music is underground, but it's not a music genre that gets explored a lot in mainstream movies versus like Bohemian Rhapsody and Elvis. So it's like, oh, it's about a German composer. Oh, well, Lydia Tarr. Oh yeah, she's real. Like that sounds like
Yeah.
a real name, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Triangle Sadness. I put that on there because it was nominated for like 3 of the bigger awards: Best Picture, Director, and Screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing that, I knew none of it was gonna it wasn't probably gonna win anything.
And
but,
again, oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
but I'm just happy that it was nominated.
Yeah.
That's all I was gonna say. So.
No, I'm just gonna go back to what I said earlier before we started this. I'm surprised that even though I mean I knew it wasn't gonna win anything, but I'm surprised that for only 3 nominations, it was in all of those big categories.
Yeah,
it's
actually.
it's the same situation with like Licorice Pizza last year. Because that was like Best Picture, Best Director, and that didn't get like anything.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the
I
same
honestly,
situation.
actually, I think Licorice Pizza got like 5. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but I still don't
But-
think it got anything.
But it's still, Triangle Sadness is one of those movies that almost feels like we just needed to give this just give it a nomination because we love it so much from the Academy. But
I still think Triangle of Sadness holds up, but I think I kind of have that issue with a lot of the people. It's like the third act kind of just like falters.
yeah,
So maybe that was a weakness.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know what the Academy thinks. It's probably just the vibe they go off of. They're like, yeah, do we like this movie? Yeah, we like it.
yeah, we like
Yeah,
it.
we
So,
like it.
But yeah, all in all, I think this was a pretty decent Oscars.
Yeah.
No, it was very clean cut. It wasn't like there wasn't really any big scandal besides Jamie Lee Curtis, but even then there wasn't like a huge fight about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this next year of movies. See what's coming out. Comes to the Oscars next year.
2023 holds.
2023. Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. You please subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Letterboxd at _filmworker_. Anything you wanna?
Generally go watch these movies.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen any of them, and you usually like to stick to the Marvel, branch out. Everything Everywhere is weird at times, sure, but I think the underlying message works. Because it is about family, sticking up for yourself.
And I think all of them are now on streaming, so there really is no excuse not to go watch it.
yeah, go watch everything.
So-
Go watch Fablemans. Go watch everything.
Yeah. So yeah,
Watch
thank
them
you so
all.
much for watching, and we'll see you next time.